were to start your business again in 2024, what would be the crucial things you'd focus on?
I love that so much. If I was going to start a brand new business today, what top things would I focus on? I technically am still a startup right now, so I can genuinely share what I've done. TekMatix was only launched in 2022, a very turbulent time in business. Startup businesses generally are classified as 3 years or younger. So I am building a brand new business in 2020. Our first 18 months, TekMatix had a formal valuation of $15 million. So the strategies I've used are working, and I'll share some of them with you today. One of the most important things when you start any business, and indeed when you're running one that's been going for a long time, is to focus on how can I make money as quickly as possible. Money is fuel. And if you ain't got no fuel, you are not going anywhere. We often in business will forget that the whole point of what we're doing is to make money. We will get really distracted by creating social media content, making pretty things over here, doing exciting, fun things over here. We spend loads of time obsessing over a sales page and whether a color is right. And we completely forget we need freaking fuel. We need money. Yeah, here we go, right? We all do it. I completely and utterly find myself in exactly the same situation frequently. I'm drowning down some black hole of a task that when I sit back and pull my head out and go, hang on a minute, this is not a directly income earning thing. This is not a directly income earning task. So when you are looking at your to-do list today, the first thing I want to ask yourself, is each of these things on my to-do list a directly income generating task? Because if it's not, it needs to be saved for later, unless you have lots of money coming in and you're just having some fun. What I want you to think about when you're starting a business and indeed growing one, how can I make money today? If my life was on the line and I have to make money by next month, what can I do? This coming from my first experience here when I rocked up in Australia with nothing, no savings, no business, no social media page, no website, no friends, no connections. I genuinely was in this life or death situation. I had to physically sit there and say to myself with total transparency, if I cannot make money within the next 30 days, I cannot pay rent, I cannot even get a rental, I am not going to be able to eat, I am on my own. And this is a matter of survival. I am telling you now, there is nothing like being in a genuine survival situation to motivate you to get stuff done. So I asked myself, how can I make money as quickly as possible? The second question of how can I make money as quickly as possible in a way that I don't have to create and do loads of work to make that money? You are the commodity. You are the commodity. You are the expert. You are the person that people need information, advice, and guidance from. So the first thing I'm going to be doing, and obviously it's going to depend what business you're doing, is I'm going to be creating a booking calendar and sharing with every possible person I can that they can book a one-on-one call with me or a special package call with me. Now, it's harder to sell just a book a 1 hour call with me than it is to sell a really cool offer using the calendars. For example, a bunch of years ago, and I went, what can I do to make as much money as possible with a really special offer that involves only me being me and doesn't require me to build anything? So I went, what do? I help people create courses. Okay. I then put together a really special package and said, if anyone wants to come and spend a day with me at my house, I will sit with you and help you pull your course out of your head before lunch. And then after lunch, I'm going to throw you in my home studio and I'm going to make you film your videos. And then I'm going to set up your tech for you by the time it gets to dinner time. And then you and I are going to have a champagne and dinner together in my backyard. And if you really feel like it, jump in the hot tub with me. And this is going to be a special package of $1,500, an absolute no-brainer offer. This was an offer I'd never offered before, so it didn't upset anybody who had previously paid more. It was a new offer. All it required was me being available for a day. I didn't have to build anything. I didn't have to film anything. I didn't have to create any sexy sales page. All I did was went to calendars, create a 1-day appointment that would go from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Only one person can book at a time, and it's $1,500 to book this appointment. I then, secondly, leveraged my existing contacts. Now, at the time back then, that wasn't a lot, okay? It wasn't a lot. If you have got 50 people in your email list and across your socials, trust me, with a really irresistible offer, you can get a nice little cash injection if the offer you're putting together is irresistible as. You know, what's the promise? What could I do with you on a 60-minute call, a 2-hour call, a 3-hour call, if I flew to your house, if we went and met together in a cafe with our laptops? What could I get done with you? And this is the biggest question, the get done. If you can help me do something, finish something, tackle something that's driving me nuts, and I walk away from a couple of hours or even a day or a half day with you done, what is an absolute no-brainer offer for me there? Get your calendar link, no sexy sales pages needed, no fancy sales videos, no crazy email marketing campaigns, just send an email. Mine said something like, how long have you had putting an online course on your to-do list? I've got a really special offer. It's only available between now and the 5th of May. You're gonna get this and this done. We're gonna drink champagne together and it's gonna be $1,500, click here. And it just went straight to the calendar booking link. Trust me, the people that were interested were like, holy crapola, what a bargain. Today, it's even easier to offer those as payment plans. Payment plans get even higher opt-ins. Getting that cash fast is so important. And getting cash fast in a way that you don't have to put any massive investment or do any major creation is going to really help grow that new startup or scale. This is step 3. How can you get in front of as many of your target audience as you possibly can? Remember, I want you to think life or death. This is life or death. I hear so many people say, I'd do anything for my business. I'll do anything to make this dream come true. And I'm like, would you stand on a stage and talk about stuff that you love? Oh, no way. Would you go in live on Facebook every single day for 30 days? Oh, geez, that's a bit much, Sarah. You know, that's hustle culture. Clearly, you wouldn't do everything, right? Life or death, guys. I want you to put your head in that zone. Life or death. Where are my audience hanging out en masse? Where are they taking their little butts and sitting down and waiting for someone to come along and answer their questions? Network meetings. How many can you get to? I did a challenge myself and I rocked up in Australia and I had no money and I had no contacts. I was like, if I'm going to get one client, I need at least 1,000 email addresses. I need at least 1,000 because we know 1% conversion rate. Most of them are going to ignore me or say no. I need at least 1,000 if I want to make one sale. So I went to every single conference I could get in. I went to every single networking event I could go to, and I made it my goal to come away from each one with every single person's contact details, or at the very least have shaken hands with them and taken a photo with them, right? So we can tag each other. If you are in a geographically restricted area or you want to just take this 10x, is present on online summits, contact the admins of big Facebook groups that have your audience and ask if you can do a live stream in there, if you can do a workshop for them, deliver a free webinar to their audience. You will be amazed how many people say yes. I also went to podcasts, knowing that some of these podcasts have got hundreds of thousands of downloads every month. So I reached out to them and said, hey, I'm an expert in the following topic. I'd love to come on and talk about X, Y, and Z. I've even got a free gift to give to your listeners. And again, lots and lots of them will ignore you and say no. A few will come back and say yes. Now you're getting in front of more and more people. Now, as long as you're following a process, such as my visibility marketing blueprint, make sure you go to the Legends Lab. It's going to make sure that every single one of these opportunities you're using is not only getting you just the exposure, but you're using the call to action to get their contact details so that they then go into your ecosystem. Because if you're not getting that exchange and you're not following up, that's all for nothing too. The follow-up then is the most important. For me, when I went out to those corporate events, conferences and expos, and I came back with a giant pile of business cards, I cannot even tell you how uncomfortable it was to sit there and bash their phone numbers into my $10 a month SIM card that I purchased and phone them all up and try desperately to get through that gatekeeper. It was awful. I hated it. But within 18 months, I made over $1 million. Because I let myself be uncomfortable enough to do the crazy, horrible, nasty things that most people aren't willing to do to have that dream business at the end. So they're just a couple of starters I really want to reinforce you can do, and anyone can do, without special tech, without loads of investment or marketing. They're the things that I did the first time I grew my business. They're the things I did when I started TekMatix. And there are a whole bunch of other methods inside section 5 of the Legends Lab that we go through in terms of marketing. But I hope that gives you some food for thought to begin with.